everybody, today I'm out here at Carolina Motorsports Park for their Turn 1 track day. And I want to show you this awesome NASA American Iron Fox Body Mustang I found. And its owner, Ed. Let's meet him and check out the car. Hey Ed, how you doing? How's it going today?
Oh man, it's going great. It's going great. Running like a top.
So you said this car sat for a while.
Yeah, about 4 years.
Wow. And how recently did you bring it back out?
Today. Like I said, I've moved up to a newer Mustang body style for my normal race car that I race with NASA, and I kind of put this in the back of the shop because I built this one. This is the first car I built, and I've got one of the Ford factory race cars, so I didn't build it. But I put this one in the back of the shop, hoping one day maybe I'd get it back out and do some vintage racing with it. So, hadn't run it in a while, had old gas in it. I figured it's time to get it out, see how it does.
And even with old gas and 11-year-old tires, it's doing well.
It just keeps on rolling.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
I didn't even think about it, but it's 31 years old.
Wow.
So time creeps up on you pretty quick as you get old.
Well, this is definitely holding its own through the years.
Yeah, it is.
Can you tell us some more about the car?
I bought it as a street car. I bought it in 2000. And I started doing track events, and I knew I wanted a track-only car. So found it, bought it with the intention of building a race car out of it. So that's what I did, and ended up getting my comp license in 2003 with NASA. And NASA had just kind of come into the area, and started racing it, and I raced it for years. I raced it up until 2012-ish, and kind of put it in mothballs and moved up to a newer body-style Mustang.
So. I love NASA American Iron. For those that don't know, NASA is the National Autosport Association. Can you tell us some more about American Iron and American Iron Extreme?
Yeah, sure. So American Iron, I'm actually the director for the American Iron class in NASA Southeast. And American Iron is basically American muscle cars, and the rules are on the NASA site, but it's generally American-made Mustang, Camaro, Firebird. You have to have a solid axle, and then there's rules encapsulating that regulate your horsepower to weight, based on whether you got ABS, and it kind of takes the whole grouping of American muscle cars from either late 60s all the way up until current. It's all based on horsepower to weight ratios and what you can and can't do.
So this car is currently in AIX. Did you ever run it in American Iron?
Yes, actually, I ran it mainly in American Iron, and even though it's not overly extreme, it's basically a good AI car. I started realizing that it was extremely reliable. And I started noticing that the AIX cars that were really extreme weren't that very reliable. So I started realizing that you had to finish races in order to finish first. And so this whole thing never really was ever the fastest, but it always finished. So,
can you tell us a little bit about the race wins that you've had with this car?
Yeah, well, there's a couple of stickers on here. Back in the 2000s when I was really racing it hard, I've got a few championships. Here's a 2008 American Iron Extreme Championship. 2010 it won the Southeast AI Championship, and then there's one or two more in there that I don't actually have the stickers for, but it's always been a good front runner. It's just an old racehorse basically, and I'm just thrilled to have it out today, and it's running like it did when I was racing,
That's
so it's
awesome.
Great, yeah, really having a good time. And of course, mix that in with the new track surface. Can't get any better.
Fantastic. Can you tell us a little bit about the cars that you're racing now for Ford?
Yeah, I'm actually racing, what I race normally is a Ford FR 500S. It's a 2008 model that Ford built specifically to race, and they had a Mustang Challenge series that ran from 2008 to 2010. And those cars are now, they made 77 of the cars, and then when the series ended, those cars were out there to be bought. And I happened to get lucky and get one, and that's what I'm racing right now.
Awesome. How do you like it?
Well, I love it, to be honest with you. But to compare that one with this one is apples and oranges. And I tell people this is like drinking a PBR beer, and my newer car is like drinking wine. The newer bodies the geometry's better, and ABS brakes, and it's got a lot of good stuff on it. But it's really fun to go back to the little bit more simpler things. You know, no ABS, a little bit more raw. It's a lighter car. It's nimble. It's a different type of fun. It totally requires a different driving style also. You can drive this one with a throttle. The other ones are a little bit more momentum.
Yeah.
So.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate you sharing your story with us, and it's so cool to see,
Appreciate
a
it.
NASA American Iron car, especially a classic one like this, brought back to life.
Thank you.
So props.
And by the way, you do great videos, man.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate your time, and have fun out there.
Awesome. Thank you.